Jackfruit is the largest tree-borne fruit in the world, capable of weighing over 35 kilograms each. Yet behind its massive, spiky exterior lies one of the most versatile plant-based foods on the global market. Used fresh, dried, canned, frozen, or processed into meat alternatives, jackfruit has become a critical agricultural product, connecting tropical farms to international food systems. What appears to be a single oversized fruit is actually the starting point of a carefully coordinated process involving manual harvesting, latex control, precision cutting, industrial sanitation, thermal processing, packaging technology, and cold chain logistics. And today on the How Factory, we're going inside orchards and processing facilities to see exactly how jackfruit is harvested, cut, processed, and prepared for global markets. The journey begins in tropical regions where jackfruit trees thrive, including South and Southeast Asia, parts of Africa, and Latin America. Jackfruit trees can grow over 20 meters tall and produce dozens of fruits annually, each developing directly from the trunk or large branches. Harvest timing is critical and depends on the final use. Immature green jackfruit is harvested for savory products and meat substitutes, while fully ripe jackfruit is selected for sweet preparations. Farmers inspect fruits visually and by sound, tapping the surface to judge maturity. Because jackfruit does not ripen properly once removed from the tree at the wrong stage, precision at harvest is essential. Harvesting jackfruit is entirely manual due to its size and fragility. Workers use long knives or sickles attached to poles to cut the fruit from the tree while supporting its weight to prevent impact damage. Each fruit is lowered carefully to the ground using ropes or caught by hand. The fruit's thick, spiked skin protects it during growth, but internal bruising can quickly degrade quality. Immediately after harvest, jackfruit exudes a sticky latex sap that can clog tools and contaminate flesh if not controlled. Workers coat knives and hands with food-grade oil to prevent sticking. Freshly harvested jackfruit is transported to processing facilities as quickly as possible, often within hours. Because of its high moisture and sugar content, jackfruit begins fermenting rapidly if left untreated. At receiving facilities, fruits are weighed, logged, and visually inspected. Damaged, overripe, or diseased fruits are removed from the line. Only sound fruits proceed, as internal spoilage can spread quickly once cutting begins. The first major step in processing is washing. Jackfruit is cleaned using high-pressure water sprays and rotating brush systems to remove dirt, insects, and surface contaminants. Sanitation is critical because the fruit will be cut open and handled extensively. After washing, fruits move to cutting stations where the transformation truly begins. Cutting jackfruit is one of the most labor-intensive steps in the entire process. The fruit's thick rind and internal latex make automation extremely difficult, so skilled workers perform most cuts by hand. The jackfruit is first split lengthwise using large stainless steel knives. As the fruit opens, more latex is released, requiring continuous cleaning of tools. The interior reveals hundreds of yellow or pale pods surrounding large seeds, all embedded in fibrous material. For green jackfruit processing, the focus is on the fibrous flesh rather than sweetness. Workers remove the core and separate fibrous sections, discarding or repurposing seeds and latex-heavy materials. The flesh is chopped into chunks or shredded into strands that mimic the texture of pulled meat. For ripe jackfruit, the process is different. Workers carefully separate the sweet pods intact, remove seeds by hand, and sort the edible bulbs by size and color, as they are edible and used in some markets. Once separated, the jackfruit flesh moves to washing and trimming. Residual latex, sap, and fibrous debris are removed using water baths and manual trimming. Consistency is critical here. Uneven pieces cook or process inconsistently later. Quality control teams inspect texture, color, and aroma. Any off odors or discoloration lead to immediate rejection. At this stage, processing diverges depending on the final product. For canned jackfruit, the flesh enters blanching systems. Blanching involves briefly heating the jackfruit in hot water or steam to deactivate enzymes, reduce microbial load, and stabilize texture. Timing is precise. Under-blanching allows spoilage, while over-blanching makes the flesh mushy. After blanching, the jackfruit is rapidly cooled to stop cooking. For frozen jackfruit, the cleaned flesh bypasses extended heat treatment and instead enters quick freezing systems. Blast freezers, or IQF, individually quick frozen, tunnels rapidly freeze pieces at very low temperatures, preserving texture and flavor. Quick freezing prevents large ice crystals from forming, which would damage cell structure. For shelf-stable products such as canned or vacuum-sealed jackfruit, the fruit is packed into containers with brine, syrup, or seasoning solutions depending on intended use. Cans or pouches are sealed and then sent to retort systems, large pressurized chambers that heat the product to temperatures sufficient to kill bacteria and spores. Retorting is one of the most critical safety steps, ensuring the product can be stored at room temperature for months or years. Jackfruit destined for plant-based meat alternatives undergoes additional processing. The fibrous flesh is shredded mechanically, then mixed with marinades or flavor bases. Some facilities lightly cook or steam the jackfruit to soften fibers while retaining structure. Texture consistency is closely monitored because consumers expect uniform bite and pull. After seasoning, the product may be packaged fresh, frozen, or shelf-stable depending on market demand. Throughout processing, sanitation is constant. Jackfruit facilities operate under strict food safety standards. Equipment is cleaned frequently to remove latex buildup, which can harbor bacteria if neglected. Workers wear protective clothing and gloves. Air quality, temperature, and humidity are controlled to reduce contamination risk. Once processed, jackfruit enters packaging lines. Packaging depends heavily on destination market and shelf life requirements. Fresh and refrigerated jackfruit is sealed in vacuum bags or modified atmosphere packaging to slow spoilage. Frozen products are packed in moisture barrier bags. Canned jackfruit is labeled, coded, and inspected for seal integrity. Automated checkweighers verify portion accuracy, and vision systems inspect labels and packaging condition. Quality control labs play a major role at this stage. Samples from each batch are tested for microbial safety, pH levels, texture, and flavor. Shelf-stable products undergo incubation testing to confirm retort effectiveness. Frozen products are checked for ice crystal formation and texture retention after thawing. Any deviation triggers investigation and corrective action. After approval, finished products move into cold storage or dry warehouses, depending on type. Cold chain management is especially critical for fresh and frozen jackfruit. Temperature fluctuations can cause spoilage, texture degradation, or package failure. Logistics systems track every shipment using batch codes and temperature data loggers. Jackfruit's global journey does not end at processing. Products are shipped by truck, ship, or air freight to international markets across North America, Europe, and Asia. Supply chains are carefully timed to align harvest seasons with demand. Some jackfruit processing facilities operate year-round by sourcing fruit from multiple regions to maintain continuous production. Sustainability plays an increasingly important role in jackfruit processing. Nearly every part of the fruit can be used. Seeds are roasted, boiled, or milled into flour. Rinds and fibrous waste are composted or converted into animal feed. Water used in washing is filtered and reused where possible. Because jackfruit trees produce high yields with relatively low agricultural inputs, the crop is often highlighted as an environmentally efficient food source. What makes jackfruit processing remarkable is the combination of scale and delicacy. Each fruit is massive, heavy, and difficult to handle, yet the edible portions require careful manual separation. Unlike grains or small fruits, jackfruit resists full automation, relying heavily on trained workers even in large industrial facilities. Consistency is achieved not through machines alone, but through process control, sanitation, and skilled handling. From towering trees in tropical orchards to stainless steel cutting rooms, from blanchers and freezers to sealed cans and export containers, the journey of jackfruit is a fusion of agriculture, food engineering, and global logistics. Each packaged product represents hours of labor, precise timing, and careful quality control applied to one of nature's most complex fruits. And that is exactly how jackfruit is harvested, cleaned, cut, processed, preserved, packaged, and shipped. transforming massive tropical fruit into versatile food products for global markets. Thanks for watching The How Factory, where we reveal how the world really works. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and join us again for more deep dives into the farms, factories, and systems behind the foods and materials we use every day.